Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to Turnbuckle Topics. My name is Pat, and this is the Raw after WrestleMania review. Now, if you saw tonight's show, please let me know in the comments section. Did you enjoy it? Did you love it? Did you dislike it? Was there something you wish you saw that was not there tonight? Please let me know. Of course, this year and even last year's Raw after Mania, we could blame COVID if we want, being that it's no audience or whatever. Maybe they care less about the whole pop and, oh my God, debut of a new superstar, whether it's from NXT or from an outside promotion or a new champion be made the night after. We've seen that numerous times. None of that happened. I thought it was a good show overall, which I'll get to in just a moment. But again, nothing where I jumped out of my seat either. So, first and foremost, if you haven't already, please be sure to subscribe to my channel, hit that notifications bell, give me a like, would you? And again, in the comments section, let me know, what did you love about tonight? Or what did you absolutely dislike, could not stand, you hated it? Put it there, and I'll be sure to reply. So, one new thing we did see tonight is WWE revealed a major Raw announced team shakeup. We saw SmackDown commentator Corey Graves is back with the Raw commentary team. We still have Byron Saxton. However, we no longer have Tom Phillips or Samoa Joe. We have the addition of MLB Networks, and I hope I'm pronouncing it right. I believe it's pronounced Adnan Virk. I don't think it's Adnan, like General Adnan, who was with Sergeant Slaughter and the Iron Sheik in the early 90s. I do not think it's Adnan. So, Adnan Virk. Welcome to Monday Night Raw. He did pretty good. I think give it some time, and I think he's going to mesh just well with the guys. I could already see chemistry with him and Corey Graves. It was nice to see Corey Graves again on Raw, calling out Saxton and always poking fun at him. Although I really did enjoy Cole and Graves together on SmackDown the last year and a half, I'm okay with this. So Tom Phillips, I guess you could say, technically got a demotion. As far as I'm concerned, I believe he's going to be the new host of 205 Live. And I do believe that this is... I really did enjoy Samoa Joe on commentary. I got to say, the past year, he's done a fantastic job. So kudos to Joe. And when he does decide to hang it up forever in the ring, he's got a job lined up for him. Whether it's WWE, AEW, you name it. That man will get a job as a commentator, interviewer, you name it. So Samoa Joe, I was reading, should be back to in-ring action sooner than later. So that's encouraging news. And if I could just add my 2 cents, I'd love to see Samoa Joe on Raw. Maybe challenge Sheamus for that United States Championship. Hell, once he gets his groove back, wouldn't mind seeing him in the WWE Championship picture either. So before I get started here, I just want to say that on Sunday, April 11th, Matt Hardy, I believe, took to Twitter to announce that his father, Gilbert Hardy, passed away. So I just want to send my condolences to the Hardy family. Jeff and Matt Hardy have given me memories since I was a child. Just phenomenal professional wrestlers. I've met them before. They're great individuals. And again, so sorry to hear about the passing of your father. May you rest in peace, sir. So, Raw after Mania. We had some good stuff. We started off the show with Riddle coming out on his scooter as Bobby Lashley walking in fresh to death with MVP. And Bobby Lashley's like, really? I've been dealing with you for quite some time this year. I thought you were in my rearview mirror. And Riddle challenged Lashley to a match tonight, and reluctantly, Lashley accepted that match. So they had that match. It was probably anywhere from 10 to 12 minutes. Lashley basically threw Riddle all around the arena, not even exaggerating, and Lashley got that victory. He kind of, I'm going to be honest, he looked bored at the end. He's kind of like, give me a formidable opponent. Although Riddle won the United States Championship from Lashley back in February, don't get me wrong, Riddle gave Lashley a tough time in the past. He really did. But Lashley, his mindset, his mentality, he's in a whole different place now. He is the WWE champion for the better part of, 6 to 7 weeks. and he's just in a whole other zone, whole other element. So we saw Rhea Ripley have an interview shortly after that with Kevin Patrick backstage, expressing how she feels being the new Raw Women's Champion, so on and so forth, that she's going to have a rematch with Asuka later in the night. So we'll get to that in just a bit. We saw the return of the Viking Raiders. Great seeing them back. Ivar and Eric. I believe Ivar was out for months with an injury. That's why we didn't see Eric, outside the fact that he was running around chasing for that 24/7 title. I believe that's the only time we really saw him. But they defeated Shelton Benjamin and Cedric Alexander tonight. Then we saw the return of the Queen, Charlotte Flair, and boy, did she drop a promo on us. She really gave it to the whole women's roster, letting them know that although I was not at WrestleMania and I missed my first WrestleMania in 5 years, regardless of the reasons, do not forget, I am that damn good. You're no longer going to see the humble Charlotte. Forget getting opportunities. I am the opportunity. I am a 13-time women's champion. Put some respect on my name. And boy, oh boy, she congratulated Rhea. Said congratulations on being the biggest snake back there, although you got the job done. And she was name calling from Sasha to Alexa to you name it. She was saying all their names and saying, I am that chick. So it was great seeing her. She's going to be in the mix before you know it. So a little later that night, we saw former champion Asuka go up against the Nightmare Rhea Ripley. They were having a pretty good match, quality match. I don't know, 10, 12, 13 minutes they were going on. And they were outside the ring at one point. Looked like Asuka was about to approach Rhea. And then the Queen came back and she pushed Asuka from the back right towards Rhea Ripley, where Rhea ran into the ring stairs. And then she absolutely took off the heels and she just absolutely took it to Asuka and Rhea Ripley and letting them know. She let them know verbally before, and now she physically reminded them that I am back. I am here to let you all know and put you on notice that I am going to get that championship, become a 14-time women's champion. And basically, the clock is ticking, Rhea Ripley. So whether it happens on an episode of Raw, whether it happens at the next pay-per-view, hey, Charlotte Flair is coming. Just know that. So, Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke were backstage. Nia and Shayna were initially poking some fun at Mandy Rose about slipping down the WrestleMania ramp on Saturday night on her way to that tag team turmoil match, which, Mandy Rose took it like a champ. The fall and the laugh. She could laugh at herself, and hey, it happened. What do you expect? It was raining cats and dogs before that show started. We had, 35 minute delay, first time in WrestleMania history. So look, take it easy on her, okay? So anyway, Dana Brooke comes out of nowhere, and Mandy Rose is basically telling Nia Jax, expect the unexpected. They push her down to the ground, and that was that, which then led to a match later on the night, which I'm about to get to. But immediately after that, we saw Alexa Bliss have, I believe it's the Alexa Bliss Playground or something along those lines, where she introduced her new friend. No longer with the Fiend, and now she has a new friend, but it's a doll. And its name is Lily. And I don't know what to expect here, and I'm not going to say anything crazy, because I'm going to sleep with one eye open, because I swear to goodness, if I get up to use the bathroom and I see Lily in the hallway, I'm running. She could give Chucky a run for his money. A little crazy, sitting on the swing set next to Alexa Bliss. So, yeah, about that. We're going to see where that whole little bit goes. Anyway, before I get nightmares, let me move on. Miz TV. We saw Miz and Morrison come out with Miz's lovely wife, Maurice. Always a pleasure seeing her. They were talking about WrestleMania and Bad Bunny and all the highlights and yada yada, so on and so forth. Then Damien Priest came out. And Miz was basically down-talking Damien Priest, saying it was all about Bad Bunny. Where were you? Your name was not in the headlines. And so then Miz and Morrison went back and forth about who's going to challenge Damien Priest for a match tonight. Then Maurice got on the mic and said, hey, you both could have a match. So then that led to a 2-on-1 handicap match where The Miz and John Morrison went up against Damien Priest. Damien Priest was running things the majority of the match. And then we saw, right after Priest had ripped off Miz's shirt, because, by the way, if you did not see the show, Miz and Morrison were dressed up to the nines. I believe Miz even had Gucci slip-ons on, so I don't even know how he fought in that for the meantime. Very impressive, by the way. So they're fighting back and forth, and towards the end there, Damien Priest ripped off Miz's shirt, was on his way to ripping the pants off him, literally, and embarrassing him in front of all of the virtual fans. And before you know it, the Miz pinned Damien Priest. His feet were on the ropes as Maurice held them down. Obviously, 1, 2, 3. Cheated for the victory. Got it nonetheless. Damien Priest was not thrilled. So, I'm assuming we could look towards a feud between Damien Priest and The Miz, or even Damien Priest and John Morrison as time goes on. Don't be surprised to see Priest match up with one of them at a pay-per-view coming up very soon. So, back to Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke. They come out, they have a match against the Women's Tag Team Champions, Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler. Now, initially, I thought Nia, unfortunately, took a little bit of a spill. That's what she gets for making fun of Mandy Rose earlier in the show, backstage. Nia Jax comes out, seems like she gets her foot caught on the rope coming in. Basically, almost barrels down Shayna Baszler. Almost took her right down to the ground. Shayna looks at her like, what just happened? So that happened. The match starts. Nia said, oh, you want to make fun of me? Basically putting her foot all up in Dana's face. Beating them all up a little bit. Go back and forth. Okay, so we're several minutes into the match. And there's another spot outside where Nia Jax is about to jump up to the apron from the floor outside, of course. And she slips on the apron. Falls to the ground. And she's pissed. She's upset. Once again, Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke are laughing their butts off. And then Nia looks absolutely furious. Nia is furious. And Dana Brooke tells Mandy Rose, it's not worth it, it's not worth it, it's not worth it. They slowly but surely backpedal to backstage. They get counted out. Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler get the win. Not sure what's going on with that. Was it entertaining tonight? Yes. Do I want to see it again next week? Absolutely not. It served its purpose. Let's not beat a dead horse, WWE, okay? We get the point. Let's move on from that. So, basically, we're on our way to the third hour at this point, and we see MVP come out. There's supposed to be a segment with MVP and Bobby Lashley, basically discussing his future. Who will he go up against? Who wants a shot at the title? Is anybody backstage ready for the champ? So MVP gives quite a backhanded compliment to Drew McIntyre. Said he fought a heck of a fight Saturday at WrestleMania. Put forth a valiant effort. However, there is no shame in being second best when Bobby Lashley is number one. So no shame in being second best when Bobby Lashley is number one. And Drew was not having that. So we had the Scottish Warrior came out, and he let MVP know that, look, I'm not backing down. I'm ready for a rematch. I want another title opportunity, and I'm going to get it. And as that was going on, the Monster Among Men music hit. Braun Strowman came out and said, Drew, get to the back of the line. You had your opportunity. You squandered it. You lost Saturday. It's time for a new opponent for Bobby Lashley. Then Randy Orton's music hits. Randy comes out, and he reminds them that, hey, look, this is my time to shine. I rid myself of The Fiend and Alexa Bliss after months, and I bet Randy means that. He is probably so thrilled that is behind him. What could have been an awesome feud, an awesome match last night was, I got no words for it, absolutely disgraceful. Anyway, Randy Orton said, look, fellas, I'm getting a shot at Bobby Lashley. Then we see Adam Pearce come out, and Adam Pearce schedules a triple threat match for later in the night, for the main event, as a matter of fact, and says the winner will face WWE Champion Bobby Lashley at WrestleMania Backlash. That's right, I said WrestleMania Backlash, and I did not even notice on night 2 of WrestleMania that they were promoting this pay-per-view for May 16th. So as we all know, Backlash has been a pay-per-view for WWE for years. But they added a twist to it. They threw the word WrestleMania in front of it. And you know what? After hearing it a couple of times and mentioning it a couple of times, I actually like it. WrestleMania Backlash, which is great because it's going to feature the fallout of a lot of matchups from WrestleMania 37. So again, that's Sunday, May 16th on Peacock. Or if you're not in the United States, still the WWE Network. So after that, we had Elias and Jaxson Ryker, who, might I say, actually really impressed me tonight. Elias and Jaxson looked great out there. They really did. It was nice to just see them out there wrestling and not just talking the whole time, having a segment pointlessly standing in the middle of the ring or helping Shane McMahon out in some capacity. Let the men fight, will ya? So the New Day came out. We had Kofi Kingston, Xavier Woods talking that talk right back to them. And as always, the New Day delivers. It was honestly a good match. I did enjoy it. And the winners were the New Day. So come back from a commercial break. We see Bray Wyatt yet again in his Mr. Rogers themed situation in the Firefly Funhouse, calling it a new season. Look, I'm going to be honest, Bray. No one has been more optimistic and hopeful for your career and for your future than myself. I am tired of being gullible and falling for this yet again, thinking that you're gone for a couple months and when you come back, everything is going to be okay, that you're going to reign supreme or at least show some sort of dominance or be taken seriously as you should. And yet again, and still, just like WrestleMania, it was an absolute disgrace. So that being said, we had the Firefly Funhouse, and Bray Wyatt's like, I'm so glad to be back with my friends, talking to all the sock puppets in the windows and on the display, and I'm just like, what the hell am I watching? You know, it was a lot more tolerable when I thought this was going somewhere, when there was that word of what we like to call hope. But right now, at this very point in time, at this moment in time, Bray, I trust you, but I do not trust a single soul in WWE Creative. And although you may have the utmost faith and belief that you were headed in the right direction, yet again, they sweep the rug from right beneath you. So he's saying that he'll be back, he'll be big, he'll be bad, he'll be strong, referring to The Fiend. And believe you me, I've been believing that same story, that same song and dance, I've been believing for the better part of 2 years now. After the loss to Goldberg, after the loss to Reigns, countless times. If I sat and documented everything, I probably would have a laundry list. I'd be going for the next hour. There has been numerous times. Those are two notables because those are when you drop the title both times, the Universal title. The Reigns I could live with. I could live with dropping it to Reigns, okay? But Goldberg? Really? Anyway, so don't have much faith in that, folks. Believe me, I would love nothing more than to see Bray Wyatt, The Fiend. I don't even care what character or gimmick. Bring out the Mr. Rogers version of Bray Wyatt in a sweater vest. Give me something that includes this man in a positive light, and I'm here for it. I'm here for it. I mean, the fans absolutely love him. He's selling merchandise like it's nobody's business. And, yeah, so I got no more for that. So we're on to the main event of Monday Night Raw. We have that triple threat match for the opportunity and a shot at Bobby Lashley for his WWE Championship on Sunday, May 16th at WrestleMania Backlash. So we had the Scottish Warrior, Drew McIntyre, the Monster Among Men, Braun Strowman, and of course, last but certainly not least, the Viper, Randy Orton. So this match lasted for the better part of 10 to maybe 15 minutes max. Good match. What I expected. What I anticipated with these three men. Rough and tumble match. Get right to the point here. Drew McIntyre pins Randy Orton, gets the win, and we will get that rematch of Drew McIntyre and Bobby Lashley in a month's time. So Raw's about to go off air, and we see former Retribution members. I'm like, oh my God, what are you doing to me? T-Bar and Mace come out. They come out and attack McIntyre, and they hit him with a signature 2-for-1 special choke slam. Similar to what they gave Ali when they quit Retribution about a month ago. I'm saying to myself, what are they doing here? However, at the same time, I'm happy for them that they're getting some kind of airtime, still dressed in these ridiculous outfits like they're extras in the next Batman movie. I don't even know. I really don't. I wish they would just let them go back to being who they were before this whole catastrophe of Retribution. Dominic Dijakovic, Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. And I believe Dio Madden, who was also a member of the Raw commentary team a couple of years ago. Yeah, that's something. Don't even get me started with, what's his name, Slapjack. Oh my God, Shane Thorne. And the Reckoning, Mia Yim. Give them all their names back. Give them their identity. This is ridiculous. Let them be who they were in NXT when there was a real chance, a real glimmer of light. You bring them up for this, and it's just a disaster. Anyway, so we're going to see McIntyre and Lashley again at WrestleMania Backlash. That should be good. And who knows? Is T-Bar and Mace, or were they in cahoots with MVP? Was this planned? Please don't tell me this is the new Hurt Business. Poor Cedric and Shelton. You're replaced by T-Bar and Mace just when you think your night couldn't get any worse. Sound like two terrible battle rap names. Anyway, that was Monday Night Raw. Overall, good show. Not great. Good show. A couple questionable spots. Again, we didn't get the big surprises and debuts and showings that we've seen in years past for the Monday Night Raw after Mania. But again, with no crowd, much like last year, we can understand why the last 2 years mainly just focused on a typical show unto itself, and didn't have all that. You're not having the fans and live pops and the excitement and so on. So I get that. Let me know what you enjoyed, folks. Let me know what you enjoyed. Let me know what you extremely disliked. I'm here for all of it, because if we're going to be honest, we got to lay it all out there on the line. We're in this together, okay? We could call this a support group, if you will. So once again, thank you for tuning in to Turnbuckle Topics. My name is Pat. Again, if you haven't already, please be sure to subscribe. And leave me a comment, any comment, and I'll be sure to respond back to you. All right, guys, thanks again, and I'll see you next time.